Got rid of my pen.
Ready? Good evening. Time is now 5:33. And welcome to the work session / regular school board meeting for Thursday, July 9th, 2026. Item number 1, routine matters, call meeting to order and verify quorum present to roll call. Ms. Haskey.
Present.
Mr. So. Ms. Montoya.
I'm here.
Ms. Aspis.
Here.
And myself, we do have a quorum. Item B, Pledge of Allegiance. Where's, here. Mr. Carlson, if you would, please. Also, happy birthday, America. 250 years in a couple of days. Item C, prayer. If you would, Mr. Noble, please.
Everyone can bow their heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity to gather together to discuss important topics and to resolve what's ahead, Father. We just thank you for this opportunity to start this new year right. And I just pray that you just give us the right steps and the right footing to send us in the right direction for this 2025, 27, or 2026, 2027 school year. Lord, thank you for our children, our families, and for this district, our teachers coming back, Lord. I just pray that you're currently in their lives, in our teachers' lives, preparing them for what's ahead and just getting them ready for what's coming. And I just pray for a great school year, Father, and just may it start here in this meeting. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Item D, welcome to the guests, everyone that's here, and anybody that's online. Appreciate y'all your attendance to this evening's meeting. Item E, presentation approval of agenda. Board members, take a look at the agenda, please.
President Montoya, may I?
Yes, ma'am.
Before we start, maybe we should state, or you should state that this is also can be viewed on YouTube.
My apologies, you are absolutely correct. The regular school board meeting is open in-person participation, available to the public via live stream on the Central Consolidated District's YouTube channel. That's the only one we do, right? Yeah. All right. So thank you for that, and I appreciate that. Someone like to make a motion to accept and approve the agenda?
If President Montoya, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So in prior meetings, I've asked for additional documents. Am I, during that time of that financial part, am I able to bring that up?
Yeah.
Okay. I motion to approve.
You have a second?
I have a question.
Yes, Ms. Montoya.
Sorry, is this where we request additional information on the items under the consent agenda, or is that the next
No, that
option?
would be, depending on where your questions were under the consent agenda for those items. If there's something in there that you have a question about and need information, then you can do that at that time. This is just the overall agenda itself.
Okay, I second.
All right. Vote a roll call, Ms. Haskey.
Yes.
Ms. Montoya.
Yes.
Ms. Aspis.
Yes.
And myself, that's 4. Item 2, consent agenda. Review the consent Consent items, no presentation will be provided for these items. These are routine matters. Applicable documents have been provided on board docs and posted with the agenda for the board and public review. Item A would be approve the minutes for June 11th, 2026 work session and June 18th, 2026 regular school board meeting. Item B is permanent cash transfer. C, procurement over 60,000 to 3,500 to 10,000, and D, budget adjustments and journal entries. I do have a question. I'd like some information on it, or I should say further information, if I could have that information sent. And it has to do with, I believe it's KEV and their services to the finance department. If I could, Superintendent, have some information on exactly what it is that they provide to us. Please.
Do you want me to talk about it now, or do you want to?
No.
So I can address the KEV.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So my predecessor,
I'm not on. Okay, so in regards to KEV, the preceding finance director had signed an agreement with this vendor to provide a cash management system for cash payments, which we have very few of in this district. And it was gonna cost us a lot of money each year. So in order to buy our contract out for those 3 years, because it's not something we needed,
Okay.
we are paying them out to not have that service because it was gonna cost us way more than that to have it every year, and we didn't need it because we have that support through Wells Fargo and our Clover system.
Oh, redundancy.
Yes, it was gonna be fees on credit card purchases, it was gonna be fees for any cash we took in at ball games, and when we dug deeper into it, it was not something we needed.
Stagecoach charges us enough already.
Yes, and it was gonna double up on basically that.
Alrighty, thank you. I
Yep.
appreciate that.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I know we're not allowed to, just how much far we can discuss this, but I have some concerns over that. It's always been my feelings about going to cashless. You know, a lot of our ball games, our sports generate a lot of money. And when we do something like that, I'm wondering how much loss of people in attendance. And, but that's not to say that with also the video, what do you call it? The streaming, yeah, and that we lose there as well. But I think most like to come to the gym, and you know, and I'm just hoping that we are being still, you know, even though a large majority may have debit cards or banking, you know that there's a lot of our older are still without banking, and I think there's a push to do that nationally. But until then, I just hope that we're cognizant of it.
So Ms. Aspis, coming from the portion of the district that I came from, I absolutely understand your concerns, and it has not been anything we're trying to push right now to go cashless. This company actually wanted a percentage or a fee on cash that we brought in as well as our credit. So it was, when we did an overall scope and view of it, even before I got here, the team had looked at it and deemed it was not a good purchase. And so when that finance director stepped down, then we decided to just buy our contract out because it was gonna cost us less in money and in trouble. So that's what that money is for, is to buy us out of that contract.
Okay, why aren't we looking at actual figures?
We did.
I mean, why isn't the board presented with those actual figures?
I mean, I would have to have Brian Smith and those guys bring that contract back in on how much they wanted per cash transfer and per credit card use, but it was gonna double up, because Wells Fargo already charges us on our credit card purchases, and then it was gonna be Kev in addition. So, but that's what that was.
Well, again, I haven't shared the money bag image with you. But I feel like, you know, the dollar should have been presented, and it should have, the actual, what you say is, you know, gonna be more than what, you know, actually show it on paper to the board.
I understand. And in all honesty, my predecessor probably should have brought the proposal to you before choosing a vendor to go with on that as well. Okay. And I'm going to stay here in case there's any questions on any of those others.
No,
And
that's,
well, that one question I had on was the, when I asked about the documents for bar, and when that took place, and just information on who, you know, what was the majority vote, or what was the vote on that.
On the,
Remember, I think it was the last meeting where we talked about not to have a board meeting, not to have a special session for such finances, for expenditures or whatever, and then that this, I think that's what you called it, was the bar.
Yeah, the bars for the meeting.
it was a document to approve the bars ahead of time.
yes, and I
There was
think you
that
guys
clarification.
voted
She was-
5-0 to approve them, to approve that document.
I asked, no, not that specific one, but it was mentioned that it was in prior meetings or prior, that the board, I guess, streamlined the process to where, and I wanted to see that document.
Basically, what she was talking about, it was a compliance document
Right, the
sent
one
from the
that you
state
guys
that
approved,
they gave
yes.
us the authority to approve it, and board member Asmus would like to know when that started, when that was initially initiated,
Okay,
because we've been doing it every single year, roughly around the same time, to be able to do what we do. To
Correct.
give you guys the authority to do what you do in approving those bars. So-
okay. I'll have to look back through like 8 or 9 years of board minutes, because
Yeah.
I'm not, yeah, I don't know exactly when the first one started, but we can go back and look through board minutes for several years and find out when it started.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It will take a little research. And we've been in budget, so I haven't had time to research that, I'm sorry.
And that's fine, as long as you can get
Yeah.
it to the board, just email it.
Okay, I'll make myself a note.
I
Okay,
did look for some of those on board docs, and we've only had board docs since what, 2020-ish, 2021?
Well, I think the ones with history would probably be Christine and Herbie.
Yeah, we'll have to go
So-
back beyond board
yeah,
docs.
Herbie said it had been many years, so I'm not sure what many years means, and I'm not, yeah, we'd have to go back and see
All right,
where we
thank
can
you.
find that.
President Montoya, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Hi, Ms. Gallagher. I was just wondering on the math instructionals, I was looking over the purchase order, and just based off of the sheer, like, large amount of those being $250,000 or more, I was wondering if I could see the invoice that quantifies those amounts, because I know on the purchase orders, the quantities are missing, and I just want to understand why such a large number. And then I did notice that the shipping on all this material was like $12,000, so I'm just kind of trying to understand the volume at which we're ordering this, the instructional materials. I want the math to math, you know?
Okay, so I believe that those purchase orders are all attached in your board docs.
It just, the one PO's over 60K, but it doesn't show quantities next to each of the unit prices.
Yeah, it shows the total.
Okay, well, I've got the purchase orders sitting here in my hand, so we can get them
Just
scanned and put to
email
board
it out,
docs.
please.
So, and there, and then there is on those, because this is a new math adoption, which is why those are so high. And then there is a discount to the district of 57,000. So that offsets part of that shipping. But yes, we can scan these and put them in board docs because I'm sitting here with the purchase orders
That's fine.
right here with me. So yes, we can do that.
Some people like to detail them.
Yes, I understand.
All righty. If there's nothing further in respects to the,
I have another.
go ahead, Ms. Asmus.
Since we're talking about budget, I would like to request merchandise. What's the budget for each department's merchandise? Is like, I see T-shirts, I see vests, I see jackets. I'd like to see that number.
I don't know that there's a specific line item for merchandise. I think that they use their operational budgets and sometimes, utilize part of that for merchandise, but we're pretty sticky on what we let them spend it on as well.
Well, I don't want an explanation now, I just want to see the numbers and
Okay.
see how much, what is spent.
So you want to see from like previous years what was spent?
Yeah.
Okay.
And even up recent.
Because there's not an exact budget line item for that, but we can go back and find out where things were purchased.
And why not?
I mean, that we don't give them a budget line item that says merchandise.
No,
There's
I
general
mean,
supplies and, there's general supplies and materials. So they may have ordered those under general supplies and materials, and we'd have to go back and look and see
okay,
exactly what was ordered.
okay.
There isn't.
I don't understand, that's not general supplies.
Yeah, and sometimes people who have merch purchased it on their own.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
thank you.
yes, we can look into that. I will go, so now I need to write down merchandise and when we started on the 60,000 or over budget transfers. Okay, anything else while I'm standing here under that consent agenda that you guys have questions on?
Not that I'm aware of. And if not, I'd like to have a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
I second.
Thank you.
Want a roll call, Ms. Haskey?
Yes.
Ms. Montoya?
Yes.
Ms. Asmus?
Yes,
And myself, yes, it's approved. On to item 3, possible questions and actions from the board on consent agenda. Obviously not. We've had some questions and comments already made. So there's no items of concern to be pulled. So we can move down to item 4, comments from the audience. Do we have any comments from the audience? Anyone? Nothing. 0. On to item 5, reports from board and superintendent. Ms. Haskey, do you have anything to report?
I don't have anything to report, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Montoya, do you have anything to report?
Nothing professional, but personally, I'll be gone in 2 weeks, gone fishing to Alaska. So I'll have my emails available and will be attending anything that comes up virtually within the next 2 weeks.
wow.
Very good. Enjoy your time away on the other side of the world, next to Russia. Ms. Asmus, do you have anything to report on?
Yes. So, I was, wanting to make it to SASSY's board meeting this past week, and I missed it. It started at 4, and anyhow, I was gonna throw out there why they had stopped coming to the New Mexico School Board Association meetings, and that, we really need the numbers there, when, especially when we're talking about Yasi Martinez. And so that was a missed opportunity on my part, and I think if they were there before, and I guess there's a new board member on there that doesn't think it's I guess they don't think it's important for them to attend, and So I just wanted to do that, and then also the reading in the paper about the possibility, or I don't know, they're kind of discussions going around about another 4-day school week, and George Munoz from Gallup is the one pushing that, and to me, I feel like the very excuse that the state used about money, that's what the late Judge Singleton had brought up, is they can't use money as an excuse, and that's what they've been doing, and I feel like that's the only reason why they are wanting to push a 4-day school term or school semester, and I don't know how we go about what the board thinks as a majority. I'm against it. I don't think it's right, and because there's when they talked about the different professional developments happening, and just the hours that seems limited, to actually teach a student, and even though those things were brought up, it still was pushing that 4-day. So I hope as a district that we can say no, and as a board, a majority, we can say no.
So you're referencing that article that he was opposed to the 4 days, right?
George Munoz, he was for it.
Yeah, and I heard that, or I was reading that the Secretary of Education basically flat out told them that they had to change the law if they didn't like it.
Right,
So
right.
that gave the power to the school districts to decide their calendar, from my understanding, so.
Right.
All right, I'm just clarifying that for the audience, and anybody that may peek in and listen, have heard that. So, all right, I appreciate it, thank you. So I do have a couple of things. Some of you may know, we just recently graduated 8 students from the MC3 program, which is a pre-apprenticeship program that was partnered with Local 412 out of Albuquerque, Pipe Fitters. And it was attended by the families, and it was absolutely a wonderful event because we got to hear from the students themselves and watch a video about some of the things they went through and learned during that 3 weeks. And because it was during the off time in the summer, the 8 students that participated were paid $16 an hour for that 3 weeks of training. And the responses that I heard personally from these young adults was amazing. Some of these kids were surprised with the amount of math that they had to learn, and they realized that the math that they had to use and learn in school was actually applicable and really usable, and just one of those things of, will I ever use it, or I just ask my phone, but it was actually applied and utilized on the industrial setting with what they were going through. But even more poignant than that for me is the fact that each one of those students, 8 of them that just graduated, obviously they got their high school diplomas, and now they have a certification into the industrial trades as a precursor to starting an apprenticeship. They're all employed. They all have jobs down south at Santa Teresa, at that big data center that they're building. 3 of them were hired directly onto the project full-time. The other 5 will have to go through a 7-week induction training program to be able to prove themselves for full employment. And once that's done, within a couple of months, those students were told that because their pay will increase, all 8 of them, to just right around $25 an hour. But they'll be working anywhere from, they've been forewarned basically, because they're going to work 50 to 70 hours a week, making upwards of $2,000 a week at 18 years of age. The thing about that is it's just not that they're putting that money and that time and that money into it, but they were also teaching them about financial literacy, because they found through some of these programs that a lot of these kids don't know what to do with that money. They go and buy $80,000 pickup trucks, and it's careless spending. So the union, in their infinite wisdom, they include financial literacy into their curriculum, which is really good for these kids. But it just really made me very proud to see that these young people took that step, not waiting 2 years, not 4 years, 6 years, but directly into a profession that will serve them and, quite frankly, empower them for the rest of their lives. And not just them, and I said to them and to their parents that what they're doing is not just helping themselves, but their family and their community. A lot of them will return, some won't, and that's fine, but that program has just proven itself to me that is absolutely viable in this community, and we need to expand on it even more. And so I do have some ideas. We'll be talking to the superintendent. We've kind of talked about it a little bit more, but a lot of people don't realize and understand we're only the 8th program in the state, and we're the only one in the northwest part of the corner that provide it to our students. And I know we're still in the process of creating that MOU between Local 412 to be able to do this full-fledged and create the curriculum for it. Hopefully springtime, right? Full blown. Yeah, so that was absolutely wonderful. The other news I received just the other day, because Miss Baker was trying to reach out to me, she couldn't get hold of me. I ended up finally calling her. I'm going to read it verbatim. Local 412 Outreach and Education Foundation was able to secure funds that will help the pre-apprentices during their 7-week work experience at Santa Teresa with lodging and meals and snacks, infrastructure and Oracle, which are part of the Juniper project, which individuals will be going to send to their work experience time and hopefully be hired on, become registered apprentices. And the short 7 weeks supplied the funds to ensure that the students' transition and work experience is one of hope and prosperity, and provided the funds to ensure that we were removing barriers in the challenges the students may have been so far away from home. And that was one of the concerns, was what are these kids going to do? Because a lot of them don't have that money. So there was 2 businesses down there that are part of that project that are funding their per diem for them. So I thought that was outstanding. Again, another success story from that MC3. So I truly appreciate the time and effort that CCSD has put into it, again, to empower our students towards being successful. And, as some of you may or may not know, last week, we had a camera crew rolling around the school district. And it was the Energy Alliance, which was funded by Conoco. They were in the area, and they also went to, I think, 4 other places here in New Mexico and doing a PSA for social media and film a commercial to present to individuals, the state, the region, about the energy industry and its positive impacts. And I was very fortunate to take part in that and to show them around and take part in that videotaping. And hopefully, they said by the end of the month or sometime in August, they will actually put it out and present it on social media. So, like I said, so some of you may have seen the cameras rolling around and them taking pictures. That's what they were doing. So, with that, I have nothing else at this time. We can go ahead and Move on to the superintendent's reports. Yes, please.
Just want to say thank you, Gary, for our President Montoya for doing that and setting all, the local 412 up, and gosh, it's very valuable. That's the first thing I thought of was, myself, how I learned my trade, the opportunity, and seeing San Juan Generating go and, these places, and I think to myself that how are others going to have that same opportunity? And, School of Energy, San Juan College is not the same, and so I really appreciate it, and especially bringing it down to Shiprock. So I say thank you to all those that were involved, and then also to hear that Chuck Thomas was part of that. I've been to his class where he did the carpentry, and just even learning the metric, or the tape, measuring tape, the girls in there taking part, and and just learning how to nail in use a hammer and nail in lumber and things like that. I mean, it just I'm so glad that there were that these students are going to continue, and the only thing is that it needs to be where they're at home too, and that's one thing as a politician, I wish they would get that. We need to bring those jobs here. Thank you.
I agree. Superintendent?
Thank you for that. I actually have no travel requests, fundraising requests, or donations for this month. Not a single one.
Can't think of any?
Could make some up if you would like. But, okay, no, we're good.
Man, that was fast. Okay, reports, item 6. A, accounts payable disbursements, board report summary, disbursements listing, outstanding check listing, expenditure report, and revenue report. Ms. Gallagher.
Good evening again, board members, Mr. Carlson. So first off, I will give you a disclaimer right now. This board meeting is early enough in the month, and there was a holiday over the time periods, so we did not have bank statements in time to clear checks. So there is not an outstanding check, because it would have been massive with the amount of people, with the amount of things we paid in June. So did not have those, but I will start with everything else. Operational disbursements for the month, and this is why it would have been massive. Operational disbursements for the month of June were $5,314,910.72. For the year, the total operational disbursements at that point were $34,787,800.26. Activity disbursements in the month of June were $124,329.64. For the year to date was $588,319.97. For Johnson O'Malley, the month of June, $2,358.04. Year to date, $104,312.52. Outstanding check listings did not change from the month before, so year to date is still $913,898.83. Some of those could have cleared during June, we just don't know. And then activity, $67,947.70. Again, some of those could have cleared during June. Expenditure reports. So grand total, 11,000 general funds, that's 11,000 to 23,000. For the month, expenditures $15,759,792.20. Year-to-date, $96,095,221.47. Impact aid operational, $3,354,516.21. Year-to-date, $23,494,367.78. Ad valorem, $88,998.90. Year-to-date, $348,318.31.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
With that ad valorem, does that include the solar plant north of transportation and maintenance? Do you know?
I do not think so. These are the tax dollars that come for Kirtland, but I'm not sure they include that solar plant. But I will research that and find out.
If you would,
because-
please, thank you.
Yes,
Come about to
tax
how
them,
to formulate those
to formally tax them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I hope if they do, then we see a good bump. Grants.
Other than that, maybe ask Jermaine. She
Yeah.
would know.
She might know if they're,
Yeah, the only reason I say that, and I apologize for interrupting again, but it's kind of double-edged sword, right? Mm-hmm. Loss of jobs from the power plant, coal mine. So the indirect revenue to the district, to the county. But then again, when you look at the solar panels and the life of the panels, the ad valorem from those, because of depreciation, is going to be much less because there's a spike, then it drops off very quickly
correct.
over time, and it diminishes the value of those solar panels. So it's going to be nowhere near what it was to the power plant itself.
Could be why they haven't legislated what that should be
Probably.
either.
You have to take depreciation into account. Thank you.
Thank you. So for grants, the grand total expenditures. Was there another question?
Sorry, Board President, did you want me to answer that question?
If you would, please. Thank you. I apologize.
No worries. Ad valorem should include any development within the county and within our school boundary. So it should include those solar plants. We've had some concerns over the years. And so I think it would be a good idea for us to collaborate with the county and just make sure that everything is being included. We used to only get 25% of the tax revenue generated, but we got 100% of impact aid. We also got 100% of those property taxes. So it would be a worthwhile endeavor to reach out to the county and just double check. And I can help with that if you would like.
Okay, thank you. Or I can try to give them a call next week also. I appreciate it.
If you and I could have a conversation about it, then I can help you with the language
Okay, thank you.
and the history.
That would be great. I would appreciate it. Okay, so grants, expenditures, grand total for the month of June, $3,511,539.98. Year-to-date, $21,218,783.37. Carl Perkins, in June, $26,156.10. Year-to-date, $53,544.67. Johnson O'Malley, $4,454.04. Year-to-date, $140,761.29. Impact Aid Sped, $103,929.67. Year-to-date, $629,739.23. Impact Aid IE, $530,602.32. Year-to-date, $5,701,934.35. Capital outlay for the month of June, grand total, $2,241,541.32. Year-to-date, $9,576,451.73. Special capital outlay, 31.5, was $257,012.90 in June. Year-to-date, $509,942.10. Revenue reports. General fund revenues, grand total in June, $6,637,557.80. Year-to-date, $99,921,104.68. Impact aid operational, there was no revenue in the month of June. Year-to-date, $22,112,044.75. Ad valorem revenue in June, $156,063.66. Year-to-date, $1,202,271.48. Grants revenue in June, grand total $2,117,273.13. Year-to-date, $20,620,505.46. Carl Perkins, $22,725.94. Year-to-date, $59,574.55. Johnson O'Malley, $10,209.54. Year-to-date, I'm trying to make sure, $188,711.54. Impact aid sped for the year, $580,988.00. Impact aid, i.e., $326,800 for June, total of $5,169,012.71. Capital outlay grand total, $624,196.54. Total for the year, $8,757,223.03. So those are all those disbursements. Can I answer one of your former questions because we did a little online research?
Sure.
It appears that you originally approved the bars to be handled at the finance level in 2020,
Okay.
April of 2020. Can we see that? Okay, I will send it to you. Yeah, we Googled it up and that's what, that's what it said. So that gives me a place to start in board docs too. So,
May I?
Yes, you may.
This may be a stupid question, but I'm gonna ask
I
anyway.
don't believe in stupid questions.
How do you get revenue from grants?
That's the money that's coming in from the grants. That is the revenue in from the grants.
Explain a little bit more.
So when we get grants, we're awarded grants. And so as we spend which they don't just send us the money up front. We actually fund that through our operational accounts. And as the money is spent, we have to put in requests for reimbursement, and then they send us that money back. So that's how we get those revenues coming back into us.
Okay.
But it's still counted as revenue.
Yes,
It's money
Okay.
coming in.
it's money coming in.
I thought the only one that went through that process was JOM.
Oh, no, there's like 26 of them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
All right, thank you very much.
thank you.
See you in a few minutes, again. On to item 7, reports and possible board action. A, presentation possible board action for supporting rural and indigenous K-8 students with the CW FIT program by Kelly Walker. Ms. Walker, is she online or? Who? Ms. Chappelle, did you have your hand up?
That was for before, sorry. I'll put it down. My apologies.
All right, thank you. Nobody? Mr. Deswood, do you know anything about this? This program?
Mr. Carlson probably knows more about it.
Would you like to elaborate since we don't have Ms. Walker?
Yeah, I don't know that much about it either. All I know is that we have 2 schools, I believe. We have a middle school and elementary school.
Both middle schools, TBA and I believe, Newcomb Middle School.
Okay, so what we can do, we'll just go ahead and,
We
at a
can
later
table-
date,
We can table it.
have her do
Didn't they just get through with this? They had it, last week or so?
couldn't tell you. I don't know.
It was, I think this was on the Facebook, CCSD Facebook. Wasn't it, Joe?
Either way, we'll just go ahead and table it and have them, Ms. Walker, come back and do a presentation. So we'll go ahead and move on to item 24, 24-hour waiver letter by Stacy Gallagher. Told you.
We love budget season.
This is also a compliance document too,
Yes, it is
correct?
very much a compliance document. So what this document addresses is the fact that Newcomb is far-reached and cannot make 24-hour deposits easily without driving forever. So we have a courier who picks up their deposits, and this is a waiver to the state to waive the 24-hour rule for Newcomb only.
Are there any questions from the board?
Not Nush Chitty?
Well, and Nosh Chitty, those 2 areas. Yes, ma'am.
Because of
Nosh
proximity
Chitty
to the
has
banks.
and it does state in there, the schools are located in Newcomb and Nosh Chitty. The nearest depository bank is located in Shiprock.
Yeah, any questions from the board regarding the document? So I know this goes back to Mr. Manning when he had basically argued to the state for in our behalf as well, so.
Yes. So I would like to have it on file come audit season at the end of August.
Absolutely.
So, has this been looked over by our board attorney?
Mr. Powell?
No, I have not seen this yet.
Okay, I will send it to you. It's the same one from each year, but I will send it to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's what you're gonna send her?
Yeah.
And if you want me to look at it right now. I can
Yes,
look
if you would,
at it.
please. It's pretty straightforward, and again,
Okay. If you can just go to the next thing, then I'll come right back. How's that?
If you
Is
just,
there another item after this one?
no, but
Nope. I think this
Ms.
is my
Gallagher
last.
could read it.
Do you
And
want,
if you
do
read
you want me to read
Then
it?
you can comment at the end of
No,
it.
I can see it.
Do you want me to read
You
it?
read it, might as well.
Okay.
Good, I don't need you to read it. Stacy, is it the same as we've done pretty much every year? Has the language changed at all?
No, ma'am, I actually did a copy and paste and changed the dates.
Okay, and I have read it, and it is the same as before, so looks good.
Thank you.
That's, well, good. However, that's what I want to get away from is copy and pasting.
Well, if- yeah.
When we start doing things like that, we get caught in our dates being wrong, positions being wrong. So anyhow, that's why I wanted our board attorney to look at it, because we've been caught before, and it didn't look well.
Okay. The one thing I will have to change is after you vote this evening on it, I will need to change the bottom of it for the fors and against, for board approval and the date. And that will need to be entered in there also before it's signed off on.
And usually on something like this, the secretary would sign as well. Just,
We can
Right.
add that line item.
thank you, ma'am.
So we could go ahead and still move to approve the document, Ms. Chappelle?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So with that, someone would like to make a motion to accept the request for 20-hour deposit alternative plan.
I make a motion to accept the request for the 24-hour deposit alternative plan.
Second?
I second.
Ms. Aspis, thank you. Go to roll call. Ms. Haskey?
Yes.
Ms. Montoya?
Yes.
Ms. Aspis?
Yes.
And myself, 4 has been approved. On to item 8, and we make those slight changes to that language, and we'll go ahead and get that signed and processed. Thank you. On to item 8, executive session, convene executive session. To convene executive session, discussion on limited personnel matters regarding the board's goals, expectations of the superintendent as permitted under NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1H2 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act. Discussion on certain purchases subject to competitive seal proposals solicited pursuant to the procurement code as permitted under NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1H6 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act. Someone like to move to convene in executive session?
I motion to convene into executive session.
Second?
I second.
Go to roll call. Ms. Haskey?
Yes.
Ms. Montoya?
Yes.
Ms. Aspis?
Yes.
And myself, 4. Time is now 6:24. We'll go into executive session.
So everybody else can probably take off for the weekend.
Everybody's on. Very good. The time is now 7:46. Item A, B, reconvene in open session as stated that the board has discussed in the executive session only the subject identified in the agenda as the reason for which the meeting was closed. Convene in executive session discussion on limited personnel matters regarding the board's goals, expectations of superintendent as permitted under NMSA 1978, Section 10-15 H2, 10-15-1 H2 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act. Discussion on certain purchases subject to competitive seal proposals solicited pursuant to the procurement code as permitted under NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1 H6 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act. Someone like to make a motion to reconvene.
I make a motion to reconvene.
I will second that.
Ms. Haskey, seconded by Mr. So. Vote a roll call, Mr. So.
I vote yes.
Ms. Haskey,
Yes.
Ms. Matoya,
Yes.
Ms. Aspis.
Yes.
Myself, 5. We are now reconvened. The time is 7:47. C, possible board action on items discussed in the executive session. Board action on RFP evaluation results and recommendation to the school board. 1, RFP 2026 OPT-109 propane services. Someone like to make a motion to reissue the RFP.
I make a motion to reissue the RFP.
Ms. Haskey, thank you. Second,
I second.
Ms. Montoya. Vote a roll call. Ms. Haskey,
Yes.
Mr. So,
Yes.
Ms. Montoya,
Yes.
Ms. Aspis,
And that's this one here, right?
the propane one, to reissue the RFP.
I mean, what, the agenda? Okay, yes.
All right, and myself, yes, it is approved. Item 9, requested action items and/or reports for next or future meetings. Ms. Haskey, anything at this time?
Nothing at this time.
Mr. So?
Test scores, they should be up by now. I'd like to see them broken down by grade, by school.
The what? Oh, okay. If I'm not mistaken, next month, expectation, right, by the state?
So there's a little bit of an issue right now. We actually have some scores, but they're embargoed.
Okay,
There's some reports that may be able to be sent to the board that we can't actually share publicly.
Oh, okay.
So we'll kind of have to look at that. But yeah, we actually have the preliminary scores. And basically, there's not going to be any changes, I would imagine. There generally are not.
well, certainly for something to put on the agenda for next month, once, and if we have everything in hand.
Hopefully August, it may not be till September, though, before the embargo is lifted.
All right. Thank you for that, for Mr. So. Ms. Matoya, anything?
Next month, well, I would like to revisit our bullying policy before the, anti-bullying policy, I want to say, student code of conduct before the school year starts.
Did you catch that?
Bullying
Oh, the bullying. Okay,
and code of conduct.
okay.
Pretty much, potentially making changes before the school year.
Okay. Ms. Aspis, anything?
To add to that, I would like to, I'm hoping, this has come up before because of past incidents, that we're not all on the same level. We're not saying the same. We're going by different matrix. What was the university, the disciplinary matrix that they're using? Was it? I don't remember. The university.
So you want that to be revisited, looked at, explained,
Well-
detailed?
Do you remember, Jermaine? Is Jermaine still on?
It's Cornell.
Cornell.
I think it's Cornell University.
Oh, using Cornell.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then how did that come about? Because I think it's something good that Vice President Montoya wants to go over, because especially when, I'm sure you've heard about Gallup and the Attorney General's report on that. You know, we could very well, I mean, just looking at how that incident was dealt with, and, you know, I'm trying to be careful here, but
Very
anyhow,
please.
I just feel like, you know, that should have, it was extreme, and I think we really need to go back and make sure that we're standard, and all saying one thing, and if we have to abide by that certain matrix, or if there's something different, because that was more of an adult type of disciplinary. So I agree on that. And it would be good to, especially at the start of the school term. And then again, I would like to see what is being spent on merchandise. I call it merchandise, but you know, what I'm talking about is like the maintenance. Yeah, the maintenance I see with, you know, vests, other places with T-shirts, and but I'd like to see in each department what is being spent on that. And if there's any policy or any cap to that. Anybody who's I want to see what department is the highest and what department is the lowest.
Okay. All right, with that, somebody had a comment. Ms. Haskey, go ahead.
To add our vacancy rate and what we're doing to fill those positions, if there are any vacancies.
Okay.
I had another one too. I don't know if it's ethical, but you know, we are trying to keep our students here, and today, as you know, I was doing some yard work and going to the trash, spoke to two young gals, and that were helping, and I think one expressed of going to Farmington, and it made me think. She asked, how is Farmington, how is this certain school? And I'm like, oh, but you know, maybe those are the questions we need to answer. I don't know, not in a negative way, but are we able to do that, to have some comparison of what CCSD has to offer compared to Farmington or Naval Prep or Aztec or?
Okay. All righty, if that is it, then someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Mr. Sewell? Mrs. Haskey? Hold a roll call, Ms. Haskey?
Yes.
Mr. Sewell?
Yes.
Ms. Montoya?
Yes.
Are you already in Alaska?
So close, mentally I'm there for sure.
Ms. Asmus?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Time is now 7:56. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.